We all dance to the music of an unseen musician. I ask you to keep this letter for as long as necessary, years, decades. Preserve it until humanity reaches a level of understanding capable of accepting what is written here. These were the words of Albert Einstein in one of his letters where he shared his profound thoughts on God and the forces that govern the universe. A few years ago, Einstein's letter on God, which had been kept in a private collection for over 50 years, went up for auction, fetching nearly $3 million. The staggering price reflects not only the enduring fascination with the legendary physicist, but also the letter's compelling content. What was Einstein trying to convey? To this day, heated debates continue over his views on the existence of God. Was he an atheist or a believer? The truth is more complex. A German Jew and the father of relativity, Einstein famously declared, "God does not play dice." But what did he truly mean? Einstein wrote the letter on God in 1954, shortly before his death. Addressed to philosopher Erich Gutkind, it was a sharp critique of Gutkind's book Choose Life, in which he attempted to justify the Old Testament from a scientific perspective. Einstein's stance on religion has long puzzled the public. In one conversation, he seems to define God in one way. In another, he speaks of something entirely different. Reading his letter to Gutkind, one might think he was an atheist. Yet, in other interviews, a different perspective emerges. "I am not an atheist," Einstein stated plainly in a 1930 interview with George Viereck. He described himself as more of a pantheist, someone who sees nature itself as an expression of boundless intelligence and power. As science progressed, discussions shifted from the intelligence of nature to the intelligence of the universe itself. Einstein illustrated this idea with a striking metaphor. The human mind, no matter how well trained, cannot fully grasp the universe. We are like a small child entering a vast library filled with books in many languages. The child knows someone must have written them, but does not know who or how. He cannot read the books, yet he senses an order in them, an order he does not understand, but can vaguely perceive. This, to me, reflects the human mind's relationship with God. We see the universe as wonderfully arranged and governed by certain laws, yet we comprehend these laws only imperfectly. Our limited minds cannot fully grasp the mysterious force that moves the constellations. There can be no legitimate conflict between science and religion. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. This famous aphorism by Albert Einstein has fueled endless debates between believers and skeptics, each eager to claim the legendary physicist as one of their own. However, a lesser-known letter of his provides a clearer insight into his true thoughts on God and religion. In this letter, Einstein candidly admitted that, to him, all world religions were little more than remnants of childhood superstitions. He saw God as a human creation, born from weakness, and regarded the Bible as a collection of venerable yet ultimately naive legends. The notion of a personal God, a divine figure intervening in human affairs, was, in his view, an illusion. Einstein openly rejected the idea of an omniscient, bearded ruler watching over humanity. Consequently, he did not believe that people were accountable for their actions before such a deity. Yet he still acknowledged that everything in life was bound by intricate cause and effect relationships. People, vegetables, or cosmic dust, we all perform a dance to an incomprehensible melody played to us from afar by an invisible musician. So, did Albert Einstein believe in God? According to biographer Ronald Clark, Einstein's concept of God was far removed from traditional religious beliefs. Over time, he embraced a form of agnosticism, convinced that the ultimate nature of reality was beyond human comprehension, let alone scientific explanation. After his death, some admirers even proclaimed him the founder of a so-called cosmic religion. One can only imagine Einstein responding to such claims with the same mischievous defiance seen in his iconic tongue-out portrait. Indeed, Einstein sought a deeper understanding of the divine until his final days. But for him, the only supreme deity worth acknowledging was the universe's intrinsic order and harmony. Shortly before his death, in an article for the New York Times, he wrote, "The great minds of all ages have shared a profound religious feeling that transcends church dogmas and the human-like image of God. Throughout history, it is among so-called heretics that we find individuals filled with the highest spiritual reverence, misunderstood by their contemporaries, sometimes labeled as atheists, sometimes as saints. Albert Einstein himself provides the final word on his views regarding faith. His thoughts on the matter have been carefully compiled by his friend, colleague, and fellow physicist Max Jammer. Here are just a few of Einstein's statements. Behind all visible patterns, there remains something elusive, intangible, and inexplicable. Worshipping this power is my religion. In this sense, I am essentially religious. Every scientist is convinced that the laws of nature testify to the existence of a spirit significantly superior to the human one. The universe is governed not by wishful thinking, but by immutable laws. A firm belief in a higher mind is my idea of God. These words make it clear. Einstein did not believe in a personal God who listens to prayers and intervenes in human affairs. But he did believe in a higher intelligence, a force that shaped the universe and its unchanging laws. Einstein deeply admired the 17th century Dutch philosopher Baruch Spinoza, whose ideas he considered revolutionary for their time. Spinoza saw the universe as a living, intelligent entity, operating with mathematically perfect logic, generating the fundamental laws of nature. Einstein embraced this view, arguing that only the logic of these laws could be considered divine. For Einstein, the thoughts of the universe were nothing like human thoughts, and its mind was unlike the human mind. The universe had no beginning. So, by that reasoning, God could not have been its creator. Yet, ironically, Einstein's own discoveries challenged this belief. His theory of relativity suggested that the universe could not be static. It had to have a beginning. If so, did this imply that someone or something had created it? This notion, however indirect, seemed to align with the Christian idea of a universe created out of nothing, governed by immutable laws that continue to shape reality today. The mission of physics, Einstein believed, was to uncover these laws and harness them for the benefit of humanity. As a scientist, Einstein was fascinated by the origins of the universe. Why does it exist? How did it come into being? Even today, we have no definitive answers to these fundamental questions, and perhaps we never will. What happened before the universe, and before that? Is it truly possible for something to arise from nothing? Where did the universe form? These are the mysteries that continue to challenge the human mind, perhaps forever beyond our reach. Einstein could not simply ignore these profound questions. At one point, he even entertained the idea that a higher intelligence, a god of sorts, had created the universe. Perhaps this realization led him to accept that an intelligent force governs existence. Yet, in his view, it did not matter what name humanity assigned to this force. He believed that we are inseparably connected to the universe, and by extension, to eternity. While he rejected the notion of personal survival after death, he left room for the idea that the human spirit, in some form, could persist within the infinite fabric of the cosmos. After the passing of his close friend, Italian engineer Michele Besso, Einstein wrote to Besso's widow. Amidst words of comfort, his letter contained a striking reflection. Now he has left this strange world a little before me. That means nothing. To us physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is merely an illusion, however persistent it may be. But what governs the universe? Despite his skepticism toward religion, Einstein maintained that a vast, transcendent force shapes reality, one far beyond human comprehension. He believed that our understanding of it could never come through blind faith or fear of death, but only through reason and intellectual pursuit. To Einstein, the force guiding the cosmos was one of infinite intelligence and logical harmony. In a universe ruled by patterns and order, chance had no real place. Everything unfolded according to precise, immutable laws. And yet, when it came to defining this force, Einstein's answer was unexpected. This all-encompassing force is love, he once wrote in a letter to his daughter. He considered love the most powerful energy in existence, the force that amplifies the best within us and prevents us from being consumed by selfishness. Through love, Einstein believed, we could uncover the meaning of human life. But he also lamented that humanity had long ignored this force, perhaps because we feared its true power. His message for future generations was simple yet profound. Only love can heal the world. Only by embracing it can we save civilization from destruction. In the face of the catastrophes of the 20th century, many ask in vain, How could God allow this? The answer is simple. He allowed it because he granted us free will. But he did not leave us in ignorance. The path of good and evil has been made clear. It was humanity that chose the wrong course, and humanity that must bear the cost. Albert Einstein believed that within each of us lies a powerful generator of love, an energy that must be unleashed. If humanity could collectively harness this force, it would eradicate everything that threatens our world: hostility, selfishness, and greed. Yet even Einstein could not predict how many years or decades it would take for society to evolve enough to fully release this energy. To this day, humanity struggles to unite in a shared effort to create what he called a love bomb, a collective pursuit of wisdom, kindness, and harmony. He saw love as the ultimate force, capable of overcoming division and greed. More than just an emotion, love is the very foundation of life itself.